Let's discuss the concept of post-feminism. Before beginning into post-feminism, let's know what is feminism. The term feminism was coined in 1960, and before using this term, the concept which was used before was known as women's right. There are three waves which mark the movement of feminism. The first wave is between mid 19th century and early 20th century. It was also marked with suffragettes movement. It is all about suffrage. And the major writers were Mary Wollstonecraft, William Godwin. The second wave was between 1960 and 1970s. It was all about the reproductive rights, and it was a period which also shows a liberation movement that spread all over. The writers were Simone de Beauvoir, Betty Friedan, and Alice Walker. The third wave was between mid 1990s and the recent period, which was all about the heteronormality, and the writers were Rebecca Walker. Coming into post-feminism or third wave feminism, which is began in 1990s as a response to second wave feminism. It challenges the definition of femininity that second wave feminism created. It encourages women to define femininity for themselves. Some third wave feminists prefer not to call themselves feminists during the post feminist period. Post feminism is considered as a different manifestation of feminism, which is also a not as being anti feminist. Post feminism is a term used to describe a societal perception that many or all of the goals of feminism have already been achieved, thereby making further iteration and expansion of the movement obsolete. At times, post-feminism is described as a media and publishing phenomenon or a backlash against feminism, while at other times, post-feminism is discussed as a radically new way that young women are engaging in feminist activism and theory. Rosalind Gill notes that the term post-feminist can be used as an accusation against feminist scholars whose work is seen as insufficiently feminist, like Judith Butler. E.J. Hall and Marian Rodriguez notes in their 2003 article, The Myth of Post-Feminism, that the ethos of post-feminism rests on four pillars. The first one is to support for feminism among women decreased in the 1980s and 1990s. Secondly, at the same time support of feminism decreases, an anti-feminist sentiment is increasing among pockets of young women. Thirdly, many young women feel that feminism has obtained its primary ends, like the right to vote, reproductive choice of women, and increased representation of women in position of power. Fourthly, there is what Hall and Rodriguez calls no but culture, whereby women do not want to be labeled as feminist but still support feminist goals like equal pay for equal work and economic independence. In this view, it is not that women no longer support feminism, rather, it is that they no longer support the connotation that feminism has acquired. In another point of view, post feminism used in a theoretical context signifies feminism's maturity. Rather than post meaning beyond or breaking with, in these contexts it means a process of ongoing transformation and change. This gives a much more positive meaning to the word post feminism. Some young women argues that feminism, because it focuses on women's equality rather than human equality, is by its very nature exclusionary, and that therefore a kind of humanism might be more appropriate than a re-emergent feminism. Post-feminism criticizes a false equivalency which shows feminism as anti-male. Post-feminism can also be seen as a hazy middle ground between feminism and anti-feminism, which supporting in gender equality and female empowerment, but declining a rigorous feminist critique of still existing patriarchal norms and institutions. So in conclusion, the concept of post-feminism has its both positive and negative aspects, since it is a debatable topic. It challenges restrictive gender norms, improvement in women's access to healthcare, reproductive rights, protection from violence, and on the other hand, the negative aspects are the increase of proximity in women shunning the concept of marriage, as well as a controversy regarding abortion and the pills. Thereby, true feminism seeks to liberate all women, leading inexorably to solidarity politics and solidarity economics and revolution. Thank you.